Picture this. You're going about a normal day. Then, without warning, sirens start going off across the city. Most people freeze in that moment. They don't know which way to run, whether to go outside or stay inside, or how much time they actually have. And in this specific situation, the first few minutes are the ones that matter most. Today, I'm going to walk you through 10 things that actually improve your chances during a nuclear event, based on real civil defense guidance, not movie logic. Some of these go directly against what people instinctively do. And the last one on this list is the single most important action you can take, one that most people get completely wrong. Let's get into it. The first rule is this. If you see the flash, you have seconds, not minutes, to protect yourself. The initial flash of a nuclear detonation is brighter than the sun. If you're outside and you see it, the single most important action is to immediately get down and take cover before the blast wave arrives. The blast wave follows the flash by several seconds depending on distance. Those seconds are what you have to get behind something solid. A wall, a curb, a car, a ditch, anything between you and the open sky. Picture our stickman seeing a bright flash on the horizon and instantly dropping behind a solid concrete wall, arms covering the head and neck. That single reaction, done fast enough, is what separates survivable injuries from fatal ones. The second thing to understand is the difference between the blast and the fallout, because they require completely different responses. The blast is the immediate explosion and shockwave. Fallout is the radioactive dust and debris that gets thrown into the atmosphere and starts falling back down, sometimes minutes later, sometimes hours later, depending on wind and distance. Fallout is the part most people don't prepare for. It's not a single flash of danger, it's an invisible threat that keeps building for hours after the event. That means the response can't just be surviving the boom. It has to include what happens in the following hours. This is the entire reason the next several tips exist. Trick number 8 is one that surprises almost everyone. Don't run towards your car. The instinct after an explosion is to get in a vehicle and drive away as fast as possible. Civil defense guidance says the opposite. Get inside a solid building immediately and stay there. A car offers almost no protection from fallout. The walls are thin metal and glass, and driving through fallout-contaminated air and debris actually increases your exposure. Meanwhile, a car stuck in panicked traffic leaves you exposed outdoors for far longer than staying put would. The rule of thumb is, get inside, stay tuned. Getting inside a sturdy structure beats trying to outrun something you can't see or outdrive something moving at the speed of wind. Trick 7 is about where inside a building actually matters. Not all indoor space is equal. The safest spots are below ground level, a basement, a subway station, an underground parking garage. If there's no basement available, the next best option is the middle of a large building, as many walls and floors away from the outside as possible. Thick concrete, brick, and packed earth block radiation far better than a single wall of glass or wood. A room with no windows, surrounded by other rooms, is dramatically safer than a room with a view. Picture our stickman moving away from windows, down a stairwell, toward the center of a building, putting as much mass between himself and the outside world as physically possible. Trick 6 covers timing, and this is where the famous phrase comes from. The first 24 hours are the most dangerous for fallout exposure. Radioactive fallout loses intensity fast at first. In general terms, for every 7-fold increase in time that passes, radiation levels drop to about 1/10 of what they were. That means the most dangerous window is short, and it drops off quickly, but only if you're not adding fresh exposure during that window. The practical takeaway is simple. Once you're inside, the worst thing you can do is go back outside too early out of curiosity or boredom. Staying put during that first day does most of the protective work by itself. Trick 5 is about sealing your space, and it's simpler than people expect. If you're sheltering somewhere and have a few minutes before fallout arrives, shutting windows, doors, and vents helps keep contaminated dust and air out of the room you're in. Turning off ventilation systems that pull in outside air does the same thing. You don't need an airtight bunker for this to help. Even basic sealing meaningfully reduces how much fallout dust actually gets inside the space you're occupying. Every bit of outside air you keep from mixing in is less contamination you're breathing. Trick 4 is about decontamination, for anyone who was outside before getting to shelter. If you were caught outdoors during or shortly after the event, fallout dust can end up on your skin, hair, and clothes. The moment you get inside, remove your outer layer of clothing before going further into the shelter. This alone can remove a significant majority of the contamination that landed on you. After that, if water is available, a shower or thorough rinse of exposed skin and hair helps remove what's left. No harsh scrubbing needed. Gentle washing is actually more effective than aggressive scrubbing, which can push particles into the skin instead of removing them. Trick 3 is about supplies, and the list is shorter than most people assume. The core essentials are enough water for several days, non-perishable food, a battery or hand crank radio, a flashlight, and any essential medications. A battery-powered radio matters more than people think. It's often the only way to receive official instructions once cell networks and power are unreliable. You don't need a fully stocked bunker. You need enough to comfortably stay inside for at least the first 24 to 48 hours without needing to step outside for anything. Trick 2 is about information, and it's where a lot of panic comes from. Don't trust rumors. Wait for official instructions. In the chaos immediately following any large-scale emergency, misinformation spreads fast, on social media, through word of mouth, through panic. Acting on a rumor instead of an official alert is one of the most common ways people put themselves in more danger, not less. Official emergency broadcasts, alerts, and civil defense channels are built specifically to tell you when it's actually safe to move and where to go. Waiting for that confirmation, even when it feels agonizingly slow, is safer than guessing. And here's the one that matters most. Distance and shielding beat almost everything else combined, and you control both of those before anything ever happens. Knowing your nearest solid shelter option right now, today, before any emergency, is the single biggest factor in how this scenario plays out for you. Not a bunker, not special equipment, just knowing in advance where the nearest basement, underground structure, or windowless interior room actually is. People who already know their nearest shelter option move in seconds. People who don't waste those same seconds deciding, and those seconds are exactly what trick number 10 was about at the very start of this list. It all connects back to the beginning, so to bring it all together, get down at the flash, get inside fast, get as far from windows and outside walls as you can, and stay there through the first day. Seal what you can, decontaminate if you were outside, keep basic supplies ready, and trust official information over rumors. None of this requires a bunker in your backyard. It requires knowing your plan before you ever need it. If this video helped you think through something you'd never actually planned for, hit like. It helps this channel keep making videos like this. And subscribe. Because preparation is genuinely one of those things that costs nothing until the one day it means everything.